Hello everyone, and welcome back to tomorrow's weather today. Today we have a possible severe weather outbreak possible for the plains, um, all the way from southern Oklahoma into um, Minnesota, and that's our slight risk for today. And our enhanced risk is most of Kansas, a little bit of northern Oklahoma, um, a lot of Nebraska, and a little sliver of Iowa. And our marginal risk goes all the way out to Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and down to Texas, all the way up to North Dakota. But will be only focusing on the enhanced risk, and we will touch slightly on the larger picture with just um, timing of storms. So today we have two areas of heightened tornado potential, one in Nebraska and Iowa, and the other one in Kansas and Oklahoma. We have a 30% chance for wind with significant severe in Kansas and uh, Oklahoma, and a large hail threat, 30% chance with significant severe, all the way from Nebraska down to Kansas. Uh, Very large hail, intense damaging wind gusts, and a few tornadoes possible. Numerous severe storms should affect portions of the Great Plains. Looking at our surface map as of 12Z this morning, which was at the time of recording this video, was almost 2 hours ago. It is almost 10 a.m. Or EDT right now, and 12Z is 8 a.m., so 7 a.m. Central Time. There's a dry line in place with the low pressure system here on a stalled out front. To the north, it's hard to see the dry line due to the colors, but there is one right here. So those are going to be our forcing for some storms today. And we have an ongoing MCS right now. This isn't the best radar, but I have found this. Um, there's a few severe warnings on this. I'm pretty sure on this cell and this cell. Um, Actually, it's possible hazards maybe. I don't know. Up there it goes. Yeah, see. Um, and there's one on this cell too now, which looks like it's moving that way. Um, this storm and this storm are severe, and the rest are flood warnings. Going over to the HRRR is picking up on the latest run. This is the 12Z run. It is picking up. Um, it's picking up on the MCS on the border of Texas and Oklahoma. It is in a pretty good spot. Maybe a little farther south. But this run did start a while ago, so it's in a pretty good spot. So, moving this ahead, that dies off, and remember that one storm. There's this storm that's moving off this way, moving off to the northeast. We can see that happen with these storms that fire off of it. Then we see storms around 2 3 p.m. No, 2 p.m. fire off in Kansas, and some smaller ones firing off in the panhandle of Texas. Storms start to get going an hour later in Nebraska. Remember, these are our two areas of heightened tornado potential. Looking ahead, these start to dive to the southeast with time, and a second band of storms start to fire later in the evening that will die off quickly. And then storms move into Iowa and Oklahoma. These are going to be hail producers, most likely. And then maybe some redevelopment tomorrow morning in Missouri. Going to our dew point for today, we can most certainly see that dry line showing up here, right here, and then our stalled out front is up there somewhere, maybe even a little farther to the north. Taking this ahead, so we mostly have low to mid 60s dew points, maybe some 70s. We can see our dry line right in here. There isn't a ton of moisture. I would like to see more moisture today, um, but the moisture isn't horrible. Going over to surface-based CAPE, our energy in the atmosphere for today. There's a big blob of 6,000 CAPE. Wow, let's just take a sounding in there really quickly. I'm just curious. Very little shear in SRH. D CAPE's high. D temperature is low. Steep low level lapse rates. LCLs are marginal at best to moderate. We'd like to see those a little lower. But yeah, a lot of CAPE in here. So this area is void of CAPE due to that MCS going on, which is stabilizing the atmosphere. And you can see that it actually rebounds pretty quickly. Yeah, this LCLs are low here, about 600. That's marginal shear. SRH is okay. It's good for surface 3. D-CAPE's high. CAPE in general is high. Marginal lapse rates. And then the CAPE dies off as tonight goes on. Looking at the supercell composite, moving this ahead, we can see that we have an high end area in here and down here. Our two areas of focus today for tornadoes. Significant tornado parameter. Yeah, I've seen better. Down here, it's a little fishy to me. I don't think this is really gonna verify. There's some capping. LCLs are very low, but LFTs are high. Shear and SRH look pretty good in this area, though. Looking at storm relative helicity, how much spin is in the atmosphere. There's some. These are just associated with the storms. There's some, not an overly good amount. I want to take a sounding right ahead of these storms in this tornado potential area. Very wide dew point to temperature spread. It's not very moist. LCLs are extremely high, so is that LFC. Not a lot of shear or SRH. D-CAPE's high, and that D temperature is low. Very steep low level lapse rate, so we can see that here. And a little bit of a cap. It's not too strong, but there is a little bit of a cap, so storms will be able to go up freely. Taking one ahead of these storms. Same story, little shear, wide dew point spread, high LFCs and LCLs. CAPE is high, D-CAPE is also high. Let's take one up here in Iowa and Nebraska where our other tornado threat is. LCLs are a little high again here. A moister environment though, that's going to keep our D-CAPEs low, as we can see there. Shear's a little bit better and SRH, but nothing to be writing home about. And those low level lapse rates are pretty good. So let's take it out to the national view just to see storms for the rest of the United States. We can see storms really going in Kansas, Nebraska, and a little bit of Minnesota. We also a line of storms down in Texas and Arkansas, and starting to move into Louisiana. Tennessee gets some storms, and so does Alabama and Mississippi. And then storms move into Missouri, Iowa, and Illinois. Chicago might need to watch out tonight into tomorrow. Let's see. Let's get this. No, I did not want that one. That one. You can see that ongoing MCS down on the border of Texas and Oklahoma. Surface observations as of right now. I'm seeing 60s and some 70 dew points in this area. Same goes for here, but we do have northerly winds right now at that one station. That might be bad data. Our dry line's somewhere in here right now. Lifting up that way, you can see 60s and then 40-degree dew points. 50s on this side, 60s on this side. So it's somewhere in there. Looking at our cape, a lot of capping as of right now. You can see this entire area is capped. But as we go off throughout to later today, that dies off. Storms start firing in about 6 hours in central Kansas and the panhandle of Oklahoma, according to the RAP. Downdraft Cape. Yeah, it's high in some places, in other places it's a little lower. Surface to 1 kilometer shear. Yeah, there's plenty. Down here, this might move up into this area. And this area also has heightened shear. Surface to 1 kilometer helicity. It dies off throughout the day. Very little. Supercell composite. It starts to rise in Kansas, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get a couple tornadoes in Kansas and maybe a few in Nebraska. Can't rule it out. Definitely can't. Oh, going back to the HRRR, 850 millibar winds. There's some areas of heightened low-level jet, nothing too intense, and then our upper air, our 500 millibars, nothing too impressive either. And 700 millibars. Some area in Nebraska, but nothing overly exciting. Is this really 500 millibars? Huh, I don't know why it's not popping up. Low lapse rates. They definitely increase throughout the day. Anywhere shaded in red is pretty high, so you can see where our lapse rates are pretty high. Significant hail. Yeah, significant hail might be a big problem today. I would not be surprised if we got a lot of hail reports today, and that would be our main problem. So overall, I think wind and hail are our main threats today. A couple tornadoes cannot be ruled out in our two areas, in Kansas and in Iowa. But also remember, we have a 2% chance for the surrounding areas. That is it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a new video. And I will see you all tomorrow.